Hey everyone, welcome back to Technical Potpourri. I am Sudipta, and if you are following the AI coding tool space, then you definitely know that things are moving fast, really fast. So let's say you ask your AI agent to refactor a certain portion of your code, and 3 seconds later you realize it modified 6 files, it moved your folder structure, and then you're wondering, do I really need that? That's exactly the problem that plan mode is designed to fix it. So think before you build, analyze before you act. Today in this video, I'm going to walk through what is plan mode, why it matters, how to enable that in Gemini CLI, and finally a live demo so that you can see that in action. So let's do it together. So what exactly is plan mode in Google Gemini CLI? In simple terms, a plan mode is a read-only research and design environment. So when a plan mode is activated, CLI is not going to modify any of your code base. Rather, it's going to go through your code, understand the code base, analyze all the dependencies, and come up with a structured plan, which can be reviewed and approved by you so that that plan can be followed later point of time to implement that feature or modify any of your code base. But plan mode is not going to modify any of your code base. It is supposed to understand your code base and come up with a plan to implement that feature. That's what the plan mode is all about. So think of it as separating the thinking from the doing. So you have two distinct phases. Phase 1, which is a plan mode, where you're going to do the research, understand, design, ask questions, and produce a written plan. And the phase 2 is basically the execution, where you will review the plan, approve it, and then let Gemini CLI to implement it. And here something I really love about how Google implemented this plan mode inside Gemini CLI. So plan mode is enabled by default for all Gemini CLI users. So if you haven't used that before, it's already there waiting for you to take advantage of that. So before I give you the demo, let me show you how the plan mode really works. There are 3 core capabilities. So first one is the research. So in plan mode, Gemini CLI has access to read-only tools. It can scan your file system, search for patterns with grep, read documentation, and even do web searches. But it cannot write, modify, or delete any of your files. The next one is the design. During the research phase, the agent uses a special Ask Users tool to pause and ask you the targeted question. So if it is unclear whether you want a SQL migration or a NoSQL approach, it will ask you rather than guessing. So this collaborative dynamic is a game changer. Third one is the plan. Once the research is complete, Gemini CLI generates a detailed markdown plan file saved in a dedicated plans directory. You can open it, review it, edit it directly, leave comments in it, and then either approve it or ask the agent to iterate and make it as per your need. And here is a bonus. There is a smart automated model routing built in. So during the planning mode, it will automatically move to the high reasoning pro model for quality thinking. And when you approve it and it will go to a execution mode, it will automatically move to a faster flash model so that execution can be faster. So basically best of both worlds. So let me show you how to enable the plan mode in Gemini CLI. Let me bring my terminal and show you the different ways how you can enable that. As you can see here, I am inside my terminal, and the first way to implement or to enable plan mode is by typing this Gemini minus or dash approval mode equals to plan. So if you do that and press enter, then Gemini CLI will be opened in a plan mode by default. So as you can see here, Gemini has opened and I am inside the plan mode. So that's one way to enable the plan mode. There is another way to do that. For that, let me come out of that and let me open the Gemini by just typing Gemini. And I'm inside my Gemini, and what I can do here, I can type slash followed by plan, and then if I press enter, then it will go to the plan mode. So this is the second way. And what is the third way? Third way, if you see here, there is a shift and tab. If you press shift and tab, it will take you to the different modes. Like currently it's a auto accept edit mode. Then this is a plan mode. So basically you can press shift and tab to move between auto accept edit modes and the plan mode. So these are the three ways how you can enable plan mode inside your Gemini CLI. Now let me show you a demo where I'll be using the plan mode to implement new features inside a very simple Express.js application. So here is my code. So let me open the code first in the VS Studio. So here I am inside my VS Studio code. And as you can see, this is a very simple Express.js application. So let me open my terminal and here let me start the application. So as you can see that my application is running locally on localhost 3000, that's the port. So I've opened that and this is how the application looks like. Here I can put API/users and it will give me all these users. If I put API/products, it will show me all the products here. So basically very simple Express.js application. So now in this application, I'm going to use the plan mode to make some changes. So for that, let me bring my terminal again. So here is my terminal, and inside the terminal, I'm inside the same folder, Express API demo. And here I'm to start the Gemini. So Gemini is here. And then what I am going to do, I'm going to first implement the plan mode. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to slash and then plan, followed by, I'm going to press enter, and then it's telling me to type my message, what I want to implement. So this is what I want to implement. So I want to implement a web-based UI that allows users to select all the API endpoints from a drop-down, execute request and view the result, the JSON result in a formatted way. Okay, let's press the enter. It started doing the execution in the plan mode because you can see here plan mode is enabled. So it's telling that analyze the existing API endpoint, but to proceed further, it needs some information. So it's asking me, where should the new web UI be hosted? Should this be hosted at /UI at this endpoint, or it should replace the root? So I'd like to replace the root. So that's what I'm choosing to, and press enter. Then it's telling, do you want a single file solution? I am going to say yes. Let's make it a more modular approach. Let's make it a separated file, like separate index.html, styles.css, script.js, everything. So I'm going to choose option 2 here again. And then it's telling UI location, I have selected this option, file structure, I have selected this option. These are my answer, and it's telling me to continue. So for that, I'm going to press enter because it's telling enter to submit. So I'm going to press enter, and all my answers are being given, and based on that, Gemini CLI is coming up with a plan. So let's see that. And here on my VS Studio code, you see this is the folder that I have inside this project. It's still doing that and it's drafting the plan based on my preference. It's telling that action is required because it's going to save the plan inside a folder called conductor. So it's asking me whether I'm giving the permission to create the folder conductor inside my project, because currently the folder is not there. So I'm going to tell, yes, you can go ahead and create the folder. And as you can see here, the folder is being created because inside this folder, the entire plan will be presented. We'll save the plan inside this folder. So it's creating the plan file now. And this is the plan file, as you can see here, and it's going to save the plan file inside this folder conductor, and this is going to be the plan file. It's going to present in a markdown file. So I'm going to say yes. And here is the plan file. As you can see under this conductor, here is a plan file. The objective was ask Gemini CLI to implement a web-based UI that allows the users to select the API endpoints and all this thing. These are the files. This is the implementation plan. Number 1, update the server configuration, which is inside the app.js. Number 2, create the UI layout, which is public index.html. Number 3, add the styling, which will be stored inside style.css. Number 4 is basically implement the client-side logic, which will be inside the script.js. And finally, the verification. So these are the steps. So plan mode already accepted, and as you can see here is telling that Gemini CLI has drafted the plan and saved it inside this folder. Please review the plan, let me know if you approve it, and I'll proceed with the implementation. So here is a plan. It did not touch any of my code. It's just gone through my code, understand my code, and presented the plan. So now if I like this plan, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell that I'm approving the plan, please implement it. The moment I do that, now I'm not in a plan mode, I'm in the auto accept edit mode. So now Gemini CLI is going through this entire plan structure or plan summary and making the changes. As you can see here, it's already started making the changes. So let's wait for the change to happen and then we'll test how the update looks like. So it's telling that it has already completed the web-based UI implementation and verify it. It's available here and all these things. So it's time for me to test that. So for that, what I'm going to do, I am going to open my VS Studio Code. Here is my VS Studio Code. I am going to clear everything from here and do a npm start. Sounds good. And then I'll open the Chrome, and here I'm going to put localhost. Wow. As you can see here, this is my get method. This is my API users. And if I send a request, this is the response. The response is more of a JSON response, but it's formatted. Similar way, another one is the products. Here is a product response. Health. Here is a health response. I can put a post and let's say get and let's say users. So this is the user. So let me add one more user here. So post users, and here I am going to put this here. I don't need the ID. Let me put the name as technical potpourri. And email, I put my email and send request. Okay. So now let's go back and see. I have a technical potpourri, a new user is created. So looks like my changes are being done successfully. So that's how the plan mode works. So when I give the instruction to implement something and I enable the plan mode, so Gemini CLI actually understand my code base and came up with a plan. Then I reviewed the plan and I approved the plan. That's the point when Gemini CLI actually started making changes in my code base. And that's what exactly the plan mode is all about. Okay, let's create one more plan and see. So this time, let me enable the plan mode again. And this time, and the moment I enable the plan mode, is moved from switch to the plan mode. And this time I am going to plan a rate limiting solution for this Express.js API. Let's press enter and let's Gemini CLI come up with a plan and then we'll review it together. So it's telling me where should the rate limiter be applied. Should it apply to route starting with API? I'll say yes. So let's make it 1. What rate limits would you like to set? I said let's choose 100, option 1, and then enter. and it's now preparing the plan for me. So very soon under this conductor, we'll see another one more markdown file, and I'll say 2. Okay, and here is the new plan. So it's basically telling it will install the dependencies first, then it will configure the rate limiter, then it will apply the middleware, and finally it will do the verification. So let's assume that everything looks good. So what I will do, I'll come here, and what I'll do, I'll say approving the plan. Please implement it. So now it's moved from plan mode to the auto accept edit mode, and it's going to start implementing the plan, which is basically here. So first is asking me to allow execution of npm. I said yes. It is going to ask me a couple of more information, more permission, which I'll give to Gemini CLI. As you can see here, it's telling me that it has implemented the rate limiting solution as planned, and then everything looks good. Perfect. So here I have created a very simple script file, and what it is doing, it's basically sending 110 rapid requests to trigger the rate limiter. So let's test that in action. Stop the server and then start the server again. Coming back here, I'm going to execute the same script, and this time, as you can see, I have sent 110 rapid requests, out of which 100 is okay because my rate limit is 100, but additional 10 requests is actually thrown an error, which is 429, too many request error. So let's review what I have done. So with the plan mode enabled, I asked Gemini CLI that this is what I want to implement. What Gemini CLI has done, it has gone through my code and came up with a very structured plan for me to review, which I reviewed and I approved that plan. The moment I approved the plan, Gemini CLI moved from the plan mode to an auto edit mode and started implementing that plan. By started implementing means it actually started modifying the code base. Once everything is done, I tested the functionality, everything looks good, and then I'm very happy. So basically, before modifying the code, I have asked Gemini to give me a plan what he is thinking. If I approve the plan, then only I am telling Gemini, now I like your plan, you go and implement that. So that's the power of plan mode. I'm telling Gemini CLI, don't make any changes. Just present me with the list of actions that you are going to take to implement the feature that I request. So one thing I want to highlight for developers who care about the security and the control is how the plan mode enforces security through its policy engine. So in plan mode, the only thing an agent can do are read files, search, ask questions, write plan markdown files, read only MCP tools. That's it. Everything else is blocked. So plans are automatically cleaned up after 30 days. But if you want to keep your plan, then you need to come up with a different strategy, move the plan to a different folder inside your project structure, and then commit that. But basically, out of the box, by default, plans will be deleted after 30 days. So that's all for today. Plan mode in Gemini CLI is a thoughtful, executed feature that brings a much needed separation of concern to AI-assisted development. So key takeaways from today: plan mode is read-only and enabled by default in Gemini CLI. It researches your code base, asks clarifying questions, and produces a reviewable plan. You can edit the plan collaboratively before approving execution. It automatically routes to a pro model for planning and flash model for execution. And safety is enforced via a customizable policy engine. I've linked all the resources in the description of this video, so please go and check those out. So if you found this video, please hit the like icon, please share this video with your friends, with your colleagues, and finally, please subscribe to my channel so that in future when I'll publish more videos like this, I want you to be notified first. I'd love to hear how you're using AI coding agents in your project. I'll see you in my next video. Take care.